Yay! Hey guys!
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Mono's Game Club, a weekly podcast where we talk about video games, about what we've been doing, about video game news, and just random stuff with me, RazBora, and Terrydactyl. This is a podcast that's available on YouTube under the channel name Mono's Game Club. You can find that link on each of my video descriptions in Monoespacial. And it is also available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, your mom's podcast, everything. So yeah. Also, each episode is going to start with music from a video game. So, send in your recommendations for music to monosgameclub@gmail.com. That is MONOS, gameclub@gmail.com. So yeah, definitely send your questions or whatever music you would like to see featured on the podcast to that email. So starting up with the show's first segment, we're going to be talking about what we've been playing, and I think we've all been playing a bit of Ready or Not.
Yeah, ready or not. So, definitely, I have started streaming it a little bit. I kind of dabbled, so I've been convincing Alpine to get it, because the first time I played it, Terry convinced me to get it. I mean, convincing me as in, he just started playing it. I was like, oh, that looks awesome. So, we played it, Terry, a little while ago. I hadn't touched it, and I went back a couple days ago with Alpine, and then Mono, we played the other day as well. And Terry, I think we played too. So, oh my gosh, I love that game. It has so much freaking potential. The mods, I haven't dabbled into it yet, but I heard the mods are amazing. I've heard the specific mod being the added voice lines from SWAT 4 or SWAT 3 or whatever the SWAT was. Yeah, but it sounds so good. They're kind of cheesy right now, but the mods make it sound so realistic. My fucking immersion.
The voice lines are definitely cheesy, and there's definitely some weird sexual thing going on with the comments from some of the hostages.
I like
female
your
hostages.
tattoos.
Yeah,
so
you rescue a female hostage, and it's like, oh, your muscles are so big, or something like that. And it's like, what is going on here?
One of my favorite voice lines, though, is the one where he's like, "Get the fuck off me, pig!" And then the guy is like, he's like, "Well, come on, man, you get to wear some handcuffs. That's kind of cool, right?" I love that one so much.
I don't think I've heard that one or noticed.
No, oh, that's my favorite one. He's like, "Yeah, you're wearing some handcuffs. That's kind of cool, right?" It's so fucking funny. That is the best one. Keep that one.
The game, for anyone that might not know what it is. If you've ever played the old school SWAT games from back in the day, this is a co-op player versus PvE, so player versus computer game where you are basically a SWAT police unit, and you have to go in and clear a diverse amount of different situations, like a gas station, a hotel that's a hostage situation and stuff like that. And you have to do so very methodically, looking under doors and peeking through them and flashbanging and stuff like that. It is not at all something like Hell Let Loose, which is a multiplayer competitive shooter, basically. This is much more of a co-op experience. And yes, I agree. It has a ton of potential. Right now, I think the weapons and the kits and the tools aren't fully fleshed out. There's no reason to take... We were talking about this yesterday with Roz.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take the gas grenade instead of the flashbang, for example.
Not nearly as effective.
Yeah. So,
additionally,
Terry, I think you played Terry's played more of this than I think both of us.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I've got let's say 17 hours in it total, and yeah, I mean, like you guys said, the game is awesome. The biggest thing for me. And for the future of the game, I think, thankfully it's got mods in so custom maps can keep going in. And for that, I think they need to put Steam Workshop in. But yeah, it will be the let's say the maps and scenarios that get added in, because I'm kind of already getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I know this map already. I sort of know what to expect. So I think, if they can keep putting in new maps, then and with the mod support, which thankfully the game has, because I think most multiplayer games should get mod support out, straight away. Then I think this game's gonna have a long shelf life.
I think that's
they could be getting PvP as well, because they did have a PvP alpha last year, but that was apparently terrible.
I think that's the thing, though, Terry. You bring up a good point. Also, Clandor, absolutely. The 720 no scopes are really freaking annoying. But I think the thing is, it's really, really, really fun the first 2 to 3 times you play a map. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you complete it and you go back to it, it's still fun. It can be fun, but it's better when you have someone that's fresh. So I think that's a great point. If you add the Steam Workshop early on, and let people go ahead and make as many new maps and like scenarios as possible early, you'll always have like unlimited new maps to play. The scenarios and stuff are pretty much the same. You can have the same game modes. I think the hardest part is probably the pathing of like the AIs, or maybe like, just pathing, making them aware.
The pathing is very bare bones right now, and I'm not sure like how much you making sound and stuff like that affects the AI. Like, I've definitely had some situations where I've been looking straight at the AI through a hole in the wall, like, hello, I'm right here with a big ass flashlight like flashing on to you, and the AI was like, this is fine, nothing's going on. So there's definitely like some, like it's still an early access game, 100%, and it still has a ways to go. I'm gonna say like a year and a half or something till it gets like super good. One thing that we should mention is that the even though the layout, like the geometry of the levels is the same every time you play it, it is procedural in terms of like where the hostages are and where the enemies are and stuff like that, and who's an enemy and who's not, like which skin they have and stuff like that. So that does keep things fresh. I would love to see some kind of procedurally generated maps for this. That would be completely off the hook.
My God.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's the idea.
Yeah, do you guys know 6 Days in Fallujah, the military shooter that's coming out?
I did hear about that.
I think it's later this year or next year now. I think they may have delayed it.
It's been like super delayed for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, but that game, not only will it be like a procedurally generated city, but the rooms will also get procedurally generated each time as well. So you could be going up to a building which is the same building as your last playthrough, but then inside will be completely different. If they could have something like that in Ready or Not, where it's just like different blocks, every single time, that they've got it made. It doesn't matter if you got mods, because you've got this procedurally generated thing all the time, and that'd be amazing.
Is Fallujah going to be similar to this? I mean, I've watched a little bit of it in the sense that
co-op,
so it's clearing rooms and shit like that. That'll be kind of cool.
I saw some controversy. I saw some controversy about it that I don't remember. It hit the news because of something. But I didn't really check out the game, so I have no idea what it is. What kind of game is it?
So it's basically a recreation of the Battle of Fallujah, and the whole thing about the Battle of Fallujah was it's in recent history is the thing. I can't remember the year, but 2000s. And basically they were clearing houses or the city out of the terrorists, right? But I think the controversy was this game was supposed to come out years ago, when like almost right after that happened, like in real life. And then like at the time, and then they never kind of went out with it, and then now like they came out with it. I think that was something to do 2004. I think that's like around when the game was trying to be made. And that was the controversy. Like, was it too close? Like, people died. Because a lot of Americans died in that. And it's because it was so close quarters, and people would just be with AKs, on the other side of the doors and shit.
It was the second blood. So I think it's been based on the second Battle of Fallujah, which was the second bloodiest battle in the entire Iraq War for the Americans. So I think there's that angle to it as well. And people probably saying, they're trying to make it into an entertainment thing or profiting from the deaths. But that's
it's
being
kind
made
of like
by
every single
some of the squads,
game, dude.
But some of the guys who were in the battle are making the game.
Oh yes,
as well.
That's another thing.
That's very interesting then.
Yeah, so that's I guess they're going to try and put more of a, let's say, less of a gamey entertainment angle on it, and try to at least maybe like honor or make you what
like
I'm trying to
the
think
immersion.
of.
My immersion.
Yeah, the immersion of it and how like probably horrible
Realistic
it was.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw in the graphics wise, I was not too impressed because I was like, this game does look like it's from 2004. When they kind of showed some of the stuff, I really hope. I mean, if it's anything like Ready or Not, I would say personally is the best pre-alpha or alpha game I have ever played. Like it looks like a full game. When you play it, you can see the cracks for sure. Like, don't get wrong, it's not perfect. But, I mean, for being pre-alpha or alpha or whatever it's in right now, like, it runs very well. And it looks amazing. And the gameplay mechanic, it's nice where it's a good balance of slow and quick. And the sound design, whoever did the sound design, that saying that's like, the silence is so loud, that game is the embodiment of that. Because it's so quiet, and then you like kind of walk outside and you'll hear like the air conditioner, kind of like rumble. But it's just this deafening silence and eeriness. And there's people behind the door, like when you use a mirror gun, it's like 3-armed suspects and you're just freaking out. So, oh my God. So good.
I think
And it's just those little footsteps as well.
Oh my God, I know.
I think they've definitely like nailed the graphics. And the overall like lighting of the game is really good. Like the way things look, it's not necessarily realistic. I've always like thought like this suffers from the video game flashlight syndrome, where the flashlight is like a circle of light that doesn't quite illuminate anything else. It's just like the spot at which you're shining the flashlight on, and everything else is still dark, which is not real life, right? But it's very moody. It's very atmospheric.
What's up, Nordic?
And
You're
they have
absolutely
nailed
right.
that like day one, it seems. So that's really good. Crucius here on chat is asking if I was on vacation, and I am on vacation. I forgot to mention this on the last podcast. So I'm recording from not my usual office or studio or whatever. And next episode, I will be recording from the beach. So
Ooh, that'll be
that's going to be quite interesting, because also the internet happens to be absolute garbage where I'm going. So we'll try and get there, I guess. We'll try and do the podcast. Hopefully everything runs perfectly. If it doesn't, then because I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream it. Maybe. So if I'm not streaming it, then Raz is gonna be streaming it, and I'll just put the audio will be up, right? Because it's just a Discord call. That should work just fine.
Yeah.
I did bring my microphone and everything, so I have good quality.
Nice.
And
Nordic says sounds can really make or break an experience. Absolutely. I think that game's a perfect example of it making it, for sure.
So another perfect example was World War 3. Well, I think World War 3 is a really good game. The audio in World War 3 is terrible right now. That's one of the main reasons a lot of people aren't playing it, is because the audio sucks. Yeah. It's like you can hear a tank. It will sound like it's next to you, but it's on the other side of the map. And the whole spatial audio, it sounds like someone's shooting at you from the other side of behind a wall, but they're not behind a wall. It's not right at all.
It's
been like that since the Veteran Alpha. It's been like that for months.
Really?
Yeah, that's a strange case where it's like you've never played a game with audio as bad as World War 3. Like,
really?
Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I heard a lot of good things, and they're like, this is the new Battlefield killer. But then it just went away.
The gameplay itself on the game design, the way it blends elements from Battlefield and Call of Duty together with a more hardcore-ish kind of thing, it's really solid and really entertaining. But the audio is... when you're inside a vehicle specifically, like when you're inside a tank, there's literally no sound. It's like your eardrums have stopped working. You can't hear anything at all except for maybe when you shoot. And everything else is like minus 50 decibels or something. It's really, really, really bad. Hopefully they can fix that, because that's like, I would play that over Battlefield 2042 any day.
What about Sandstorm? I haven't played it personally. I know you have, Terry. Yeah, but I heard the sound design in that game is pretty solid.
Yeah, for me, Sandstorm, like pretty much every part of the game is awesome.
Really?
If it was larger scale, we'll say Battlefield, Hell Let Loose size, I honestly probably wouldn't be playing Hell Let Loose that much. I'd be playing that game. Because Sandstorm, for me, I absolutely love the gunplay. It's like every weapon has like high recoil, but you can easily quite control it. You have to pull your mouse down to, all the way to like the bottom of your mouse pad and off your desk, but you can control it. And I think it's just very, very satisfying gunplay.
Oh man, I'll have to try it with you sometime.
It, like, the thing that I didn't expect about Insurgency Sandstorm was precisely the scale. I thought it was going to be like a more like Battlefield style or Hell Let Loose or something, and or something at least like in between Counter-Strike and that scale, and it's really not. It's really the Counter-Strike scale. Like, it's small maps where, holding angles on corridors and stuff like that, knowing where to push, and which is like the point where you reach that if you go past this point, you're gonna get shot by the dude that just like ran from the spawn and is holding the angle, right? Like, that type of map knowledge, that is the game. And I played Counter-Strike like when Counter-Strike came out, basically, right? Like I started like 1.2 or something and played until like Source. So I played like 5 years of Counter-Strike, and like I've had my time with that style of game. I know what it is. Like, not necessarily interested in that right now. So like, I have it installed, but it's not a game that I'll be playing at all. I think it's just
the maps.
Like, I'm past that, I guess. I'm interested in other stuff right now.
They're like they're like a narrow. I'll say narrow in design, like Counter-Strike Day of Defeat, but then stretched.
Did I lose connection here?
It can be large, but not fully scale large. It's just like long.
Ooh.
They can be narrow and long. Some of the maps are.
Ooh.
So hold on, not as small as Counter-Strike.
Hold on, I lost connection for a sec.
This guy.
Yeah. Argentina internet. Okay, so definitely my stream crapped out. Now it's good again, but the connection is definitely inconsistent. All right, it's back.
Cool. But yeah, I'd say they're quite narrow, but then some maps can be long. So it does have that Counter-Strike Day of Defeat feel to it.
Yeah, I'd like to play it. On my TikTok, I had some people comment, and they were like, "You should really try Sandstorm. I think you'd like it." And they're like, "Oh, Sandstorm is way better than Hell Let Loose." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Bet." No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'd be interested to try it. I mean, I'm always down to try new games, so that would be interesting.
All right,
but
what else have you guys been playing, if anything at all, apart from like Hell Let Loose and Ready or Not?
So playing, I've I've been playing Mass Effect 1, finished that. Now just started Mass Effect 2, and the difference between the two games is quite insane when it comes to the actual combat. They made such a massive improvement in Mass Effect 2, which I hope they would have actually improved the Mass Effect 1 remake or remaster a bit, but they didn't really.
You're playing the remaster?
On
the Legendary
Game
Edition.
Pass, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking into that. That's cool.
So started that. I then also I started and finished Wolfenstein Old Blood, which is a prequel to New Blood, which New Blood was the first game out of this recent few games we've had.
Yeah.
Because I sort of realised I'd never... With the what?
No, that's not the one with the two girls, right?
No, that's Young Blood. Yeah, this is technically
so I
the
did
second
play Old Blood.
game.
Yeah, I remember, yes. Okay.
So I started that, finished that already. Still holds up today.
What do you think of it?
I think it's just, it's still really good. Still just a really good shooter. It is, Still looks good
Yeah.
as well, but it was locked to 60 FPS,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Really?
I like the
Yeah.
yes.
Play
I
this
like the
game for
first game
consoles.
better than the second one.
But this is
Like, this-
sort of like game 1.5. It was a prequel, but like a smaller
Yeah.
game released. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know, there's something about it that just like I first like I
Was it
felt
the
like it
zombies?
didn't expand on the gameplay.
My man,
enough,
Tax Watch.
you know. And I just got kind of tired of it by the time I was like halfway through, because I played like the first one and then played that one like straight away, and I was like, like too much of the same.
I played just the demo for like the newer one at the time. So it's probably Old Blood or I don't know which
Youngblood
one it was.
should
Yeah,
be the newest. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that's supposed
Whatever
to be
one it was.
not very good.
something Blood. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
just liked. I mean, I liked it as is. It seemed pretty cool. Like the shooting mechanic. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like a old style
It's
game.
software. Can't
Yeah.
go wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just
One thing
run
that
around and kill.
we were starting to talk about before the podcast started was me and Terry have been reading some books, you know, using our eyes for something other than video games for once. Terry's been reading a fantastic series which is very much suffering from the George R.R. Martin syndrome right now, which is
Jesus.
Name of the Wind by
Yeah.
Patrick Rothfuss. Rothfuss? Is
Yeah.
that how you
So the
pronounce that?
series, it's called The King Killer Chronicle.
Yes.
The first book came out in
That's so
2007. Second
Absolutely
one,
right,
2011.
Crucius.
Read the
what
first
I'm
two
saying.
books. I'm now going back through the first one on audiobook because I am pretty much. It's the first audiobook I'm listening to. Really enjoying it so far. But yeah, it's like what 10 you could say 10 to 11 year wait for the third
Yeah.
book. Damn.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna have
it's
to
really
read.
good.
He did read the prologue apparently, or the first chapter or something for the third book, which is supposed to be the last in the King Killer Chronicles trilogy, like a couple of weeks ago. I haven't checked that
swear.
out, but hopefully that's some indication that the third book might be coming in sometime between like here and the next like 10 years, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But
'cause
I'm not
if
going
you
to
haven't read it-
I'm not going to listen to that. I'm not.
If
I'm
you're
I'm
no,
just
I'm
gonna
not gonna listen to it either. Yeah, it's not my style to like have those like breadcrumb pieces of, you know, book before the actual book. But that's a really fantastic game, and if you're listening to audiobook, I will recommend if that's your first audiobook. I also listen to audiobooks. I really enjoy it. Like I thought I wouldn't, but it's really enjoyable. And there's a series, also a fantasy style series, called The Lies of Lok Lamora. The series is actually called The Gentleman Bastards. And the audiobook version, like if there was an Oscar for audiobooks or some even more prestigious award, this would take it, like bar none. It is so good. The narration is so perfect. The way the guy makes like the different voices for the characters and the narration style, the tone, the clarity of the voice, it is absolutely fantastic. And it also happens to be a really, really good book, and just like book series, they're all really good. So that's a definitely like recommendation for me. And I'm also listening to a book and reading it. I'm going over the first book in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson, who's the author of Mistborn and the guy that's finishing up the Wheel of Time series, which I've never read. But I read Mistborn by him, the first 3 books. It's like, that's like a trilogy, and then there's like a second trilogy for Mistborn. But now I'm starting the Stormlight Archives, and it took me a while to get into that book because it's so fantastic. Like the world building is so fantastical. Like there's no trees, there's just like rock things with like protruding plant things, and there's not, it's just like a completely alien planet, right? Like imagine like a story being told in a like absolutely alien planet, and it's being told like this is the way things are, right? And yeah, I was listening to that on audiobook, and I would read I would listen to things, and I would like, did he just say that? Like, there's a concept in the book of this like spiritual thingies. So like when you're in pain, like tiny ethereal red hands spring out of your body and stuff like that. And when you at first like conceive of that, it's like, that's such a weird thing, like it took me a while, and I actually downloaded the book and started reading the book because I wanted to make sure that I was like catching everything that there is to catch. It's such a bizarre thing, but it's really good. Now it's starting to ramp up in the second half of the book, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. It's really good. I've
read the first 2 books, and I know I don't know exactly where you are on the story, but I'm guessing you are coming up soon to these moments. I'm just like, yeah. But these spren, it's like it's almost like they can be not physical embodiments, but they're there for emotions. Like someone could get really angry, then you could get anger spren appearing around them. They could be like, I can't remember what the color are, but they're red,
like a Goku possibly. Aura or something.
Yeah, sort of. It's like strange, but then there's element-based ones, and and there's things
one
like
thing that
spren, and it's weird. But it works.
One thing that hey, hold on. Crucius. Hey, I'm about to listen to that as well. My sister said the audiobook is good. First book is all world building, so it's slow. Yes. One thing about the audiobook, I really dislike the narration of the female narrator. Like, there's 2 main characters, basically, in the book. One of them is female, and that takes, like, a female narrator narrates that part. And I don't think she's as good as the male counterpart doing the other narration. Like, it's just like something about her voice that is just not vibing with me. One thing that I do want to mention is that both the Stormlight Archive, Mistborn, and Name of the Wind have in common that is absolutely awesome is the magic system. It's this like really physics-based thing where interactions, like what can be done and what can't be done, is very much set by specific rules, if that makes sense. Did I just lose you guys?
Yeah. No, we're still here. Just, yeah, because it's been a while since I've read the first 2, but and I haven't read the Mistborn or anything. Is Mistborn the series where they have different metals that do different things?
Yes.
I think I've read one of them, yeah.
Yes, that's cool. They have different metals, and there's this very, like, conservation of energy thing going on in Name of the Wind, Mistborn, and Stormlight that I really like, because it's not, like, unlimited magical power to anyone. It's more like
it's not Harry Potter, basically.
Yeah, that's something that I never read the books, but I watched the Harry Potter movies, and I really, really dislike the fact that like magic seemed to be this like random thing, and not clearly defined. So if you're into that, definitely check those out.
Nordic said,
so give an example.
He just finished the 3rd book on Stormlight, is what he was saying in chat.
Yeah. But for Name of the Wind, how magic works, you have to get like almost like an energy source. So you could draw in something from a fire, because you could use that as an energy source, or your own blood, but that's going to have a negative effect on you because you're drawing heat away from your own body to potentially do something. So you can't just be like, there's a wand and do something. It's, I need to get this energy to do this thing. Yeah. And that's good. It makes it, I don't know, it just makes it more sort of interesting. It's just not like Expelliarmus, whatever, and I've got to actually quickly do something and put something together in my mind. And they go into how you have to do it in your head and like separate your mind into 2 places and do this. It's well done.
It's really interesting, and it really raises the stakes and presents like these clear risk-reward situations. And limitations, which make the thing awesome. There's a quote. There's like a guide to magic in books by Sanderson, in which he goes over how he creates magical systems for the books. And there's these, like, present the reader with like the limitations, but also present them with the cool powers. And in the case of needing to err on the side of cool powers or limitations, always err on the side of cool powers, or something like that. I don't remember exactly the wording he used, but like the dude's really talented, and he's a very prolific book writer as well. So that's really cool.
Man, I can't get into reading, man, but I read the Twitch chat. Am I right, boys?
Smoke weed every day.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I don't really get into reading too much myself, honestly. But I've just been watching a ton of anime, bro. Demon Slayer season 2 has picked up so fucking much. I am loving it. So good. It's so good.
Raz, I've watched like 2 episodes of Season Slayer, and this might be actually a really good time to get into that, because I'm gonna have some free time now that I'm on vacation.
It's amazing.
And like I've seen what was it? I saw Moist Critical's like top anime list or whatever, and he was like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen or something like that.
Yes, that's
supposed to be like top tier.
So anyone that follows me, that's my follow thing from Jujutsu Kaisen. The thank you so much, best of friend. That thing, that's from Jujutsu. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, amazing. It's like about magic, and Demon Slayer is just kind of like sword, like not samurai. Yeah, kind of like samurai-esque. But man, is it so good. Crucius, season 1 was amazing. Season 2 has been getting way better. Only gripe with season 1 is the whiny slayer, common anime trope. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Season 2, it just picks up pretty fast in the first 2 episodes. And then like now, oh my god, the battles are so good. If you also like battles too, like fighting, check out Fire Force. Fire Force has some of the best animation for fighting like I've ever seen. So nice. Good. The water sword animation, yeah, it's interesting because it looks so good. It looks like a modern, because it is right, a modern anime, but it just looks has that like classic traditional like Japanese like art style with the water and the crashing waves.
Like the wide wave thing.
That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, that's like
nice.
One of his abilities with the sword, and it looks really well done in the show. So highly recommend if you guys haven't. That's
dude.
Raz's
we need like you corner. Need to. So I used to. Lula is my wife, by the way. So whenever I talk about Lula, that's my wife. We used to watch Naruto with Lula when we first met. And we watched like everything up to like halfway through Shippuden. That got like I think Shippuden like really lost the quality in terms of the original anime and just the original storytelling. It's just like it goes off the rails too much. But we watched that, and we watched like several anime movies together that we've enjoyed. But they've all been like super mainstream, right? So the last one we watched was Your Name, and that was all right. But yeah, I really want some like anime recommendations for movies specifically that I can watch with my wife, like cool, specifically like thing that's where the art style is really good. Like that's something we really enjoy.
So yeah, I would really throw those 2 out. If you ever watch it, like Death Note is a great one to kind of like dip your toes into like anime, because it's anime, but it's not like the classic anime. It's more like story driven anime, which I really like. Another good one, Black Clover, that I've watched, really good. That's a more recent one that I watched. And then if you have Crunchyroll, there's this one, I can't remember the name. It's like Hero High School or something. Not My Hero Academia. It's like some other one. God of
Assassination
High School.
Classroom?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
God of High School. Very good. I was surprised. I think it's like a Crunchyroll exclusive. Really good. But yes, Crucius.
All right.
I am Weeb Bora from now on.
Yes. Raz is going to be our resident like anime expert, I think.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Anything anime, let me know.
As a South American, I'm the resident corruption analyst, and I guess Terry's the tea fanat.
Do you really like tea?
Connoisseur.
Dude, I
Yeah.
hate tea. I hate
This is
tea.
what I was
more than
drinking
anything.
earlier.
God, I like the dog dad. Dude, I hate tea so much. So much.
Weirdo.
I've never been a tea. You know, I think the reason why, quick story, I know, just quick side note. Like, I was, this is when I was really young. I always get car sick, like motion sickness if I sit in the back of a car. And my family and I drove up, I live in Florida. We were driving up to Buffalo, New York, where my dad's from. So it's a long ass drive for you guys that may not know. Literally
From the whole south to the north, right?
Yeah, complete south to complete north of the U.S. And I got so sick, we stopped like in North Carolina or something, and I was like puking out of the car. And my dad's like, "Here, like let's get you some tea." And so we get some tea. I drank it, and I just threw up so much more. And so I think it's like one of those things where now I have PTSD because I flash back to that moment every time I have tea. I'm like, this tastes like vomit. It's awful. Hate it.
Well, when you said tea, was it an actual cup of tea or like sweet tea or iced tea?
I think it was like iced tea or some shit.
Right, because that's not tea.
It's all the same shit to me, man.
It's not tea.
I've had
That's
regular
sugar
tea.
water.
I've had like regular tea. I've had sweet tea. I've had iced tea. Like I've had all the different tea. Like I've tried
Yeah,
it
see,
multiple times. It's terrible every
A
time.
proper brew, right? Just put your tea bag in, boil up some water, put that in like, doing a coffee, give it a good stir and leave it for about a minute or two. Then top it up with some milk. Like a shot of milk, maybe. Yeah, milk.
Yeah.
And then take your tea bag out and boom, there you go. It should
I
look,
appreciate tea, but I'm not a tea fanatic.
Yeah.
I'll
Buffalo,
have like one tea every week or something.
No. He's from Grand Island, big Grand Island, Buffalo, and
One thing that
it's so funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, one thing that I'm struggling with, like we drink mate here, right? Which is like the inverse of tea, where you, instead of putting like a paper bag with the herbs inside of it in the water, you put the herbs in the water and then you drink through a straw that has holes in it, so you don't drink the actual herb. You just drink the water, right? That it's an inverse tea, but it has a strong laxative effect, and it will yes,
your bowels.
Yeah, it will produce like some acidity in your stomach for some people, and that's definitely the case for me. I really like it, but I can't really drink it. So it's this awful situation where I wake up and I'm like, I want to drink mate, but I know if I drink mate, I'm gonna like spend the rest of the day not enjoying myself.
Do you guys like coffee? I'm not a coffee person
obviously.
either. No, see,
I'm not a coffee person either. Like I will drink coffee, and I do have like good coffee at home. I'm not like super into it, but I enjoy good coffee. Like I will enjoy it, but I'm not. It's not something that I will drink every single day.
Big has one coffee pot a day. Oh, I can't do coffee.
Oh man,
I can't.
My stomach. I don't know if it's because I'm old or because I've abused it for too long or something. But my stomach cannot handle like coffee in large amounts or mate, or in fact, like just like heavier food in general, like pizza and fried stuff and stuff like that is now an issue for my body.
Yeah,
I'm getting old, guys.
I can't do
I'm
red
gonna
meat.
like not gonna be able to aim in hella loose in the next 2 years.
I get so sick eating red meat, man. Like, I'll eat a steak once in a while.
Really?
I love steak, but I get so sick eating red meat. So I try to stay away from like ground beef or anything like that.
That sucks.
My stomach is so sensitive. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like that's probably the case then. If you can't stomach tea or coffee, that's probably what's going on.
God, am I getting old?
The body's...
God. What have I become?
I mean...
Have you got any grey hairs yet?
All right, I'm Latino. Little known fact. So I do have a lot of gray hairs. I am. Yeah, my mom's from Honduras. I am. I have gray hair. It's probably my team at work. My team is killing me. I'm just like, you guys gotta get
I
your
didn't know
shit
like
together.
gray hairs and Latino was like an association there.
Yeah. I have a lot of well, in Florida we have a lot of Latinos. Like Miami, like not as much in Central, but South we have a lot. So yeah, like it's kind of an association where Latinos, we have very thick hair. We have, I mean, you would, yeah. I guess, yeah, but
Yeah.
look, I mean, I have you can't really see right now, but I have.
Yeah,
a
you
couple
have
white hairs.
you have some streaks there. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, like a couple
Yeah.
white hairs. I'm also pulling out my hair. I'm going fucking crazy, but
Oh, I'm going bald. I've been going bald since I was born.
God, that's
so
my
it's
biggest
nothing
fear.
new.
I don't know, like my hairline seems like it's going pretty high, so I don't want to go bald. I like my hair. I don't mind because if it goes white, I can just dye it, But like, I don't want to go bald.
Photo Sniper says, book club, tea club, hair for men club, but
Yeah.
not the gaming club.
Well, talking about hair, I'm overdue a haircut, so I'll get that
Yeah,
out of
me
the way.
too. If a hair company wants to sponsor us, we don't mind
Yeah.
doing trials.
Also, like, if any, like, stomach ulcer medication wants to sponsor us as well, that would be very welcome.
Old men products, please.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Viagra. No.
No.
They're not that old.
not that old.
That's
Sponsored by
what all the
Viagra.
anime is for.
Yeah. Squatty potty. Yeah. Men's adult diapers.
Oh, man.
God. All
Yeah.
right. I think
Ross,
we're...
you need to read books. Reading books is good.
Oh, I just don't have time. I guess I could probably get into it, but
Audiobooks
books are for nerds, am I right?
I went from listening to
poster behind
podcasts to the audiobooks,
Naruto.
and that's been super good. Like,
Audiobooks.
yeah, like when you have to do anything like mundane, I thought I wouldn't be able to like follow the plot of what's going on, but you totally can. You absolutely can, and it's like hearing someone tell you a story, right? At first, it's kind of complicated, but then once you get into it, it's really good. And I think Audible has, like, if you create an account, you get like 1 free credit. That's good for like any book in their catalog. So I highly recommend you use that credit for Lok Lamora, because that's a really good book. And as I said before, the audio version is just absolutely fantastic. Do you have a commute? I personally don't, because I work from home.
I do.
As a YouTube man.
I drive like
Mostly.
25, 30 minutes. I usually while I drive to work, I actually watch like these guys' videos. I like listen to their videos. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
don't
that's
watch while I
not
drive.
safe.
No. But I
Okay.
listen to them. And that's kind of where I listen to like my YouTube stuff, or if I have like a podcast. Like I watch the H3 podcast a lot, and I'll listen to their podcast too. H3. That's where I consume most of my podcasts. I commute an hour and a half. Damn, that's pretty far.
Jeez.
That's how much I commuted back when I was working in a big corporation. I would spend like 45 minutes going back, and then going, like 45 or 40 minutes per trip.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
That's what he
so
said.
like an hour and a half. Yeah,
That makes sense.
So that I at first like music, podcasts, and stuff like that, but then you get tired of that stuff and you're looking for something else, and that's when I hit audiobooks, and just like they're awesome. They're really
I'll check
awesome.
them out then. I'll check them out. You guys suggest them.
Especially if it's free, like you can just download one and give it a try.
So we got about 45 minutes left, right? So we're about to our next section here. So Terry,
Yep.
Terry's News Corner. Terry, all you, man.
Beep, 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 beep,
So,
beep, beep, beep,
three-
beep,
Oh yeah,
beep, beep,
I got
beep,
The stinger.
All right, go Terry.
You got the horn. You stole the horn from me.
I got it. I got the whole soundboard. I also have
I went on vacation, so Ross is taking care of the horn while I'm away.
Yes. All right, Terry, all you.
So
excited.
we've had, technically, we'll say 3 new Star Wars titles have been announced.
Yes.
One of them is a sequel to a game that Mono hates, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes.
I'm really looking
Wait.
forward to that because
The
right.
the wording on the article, like, I mean, no, now
So
that
it's
you're
the
talking
next
about it,
title
like,
in the Star Wars Jedi.
yeah, but Star
franchise.
Wars Jedi, you have like Star Wars Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Outcast 1 and 2.
Nah,
So
it's not gonna be that.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to be that. It's going to be a Fallen Order thing, which
yeah,
whatever.
So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it because I really enjoyed the game. But it's basically a Dark Souls game in Star Wars coating, and I'm a big fan of Souls games. Raz, I know you liked Fallen Order.
I love
Right.
Fallen Order, so I am so excited for this next one. And if you haven't watched Boba Fett, might be a little Easter egg or something that relates.
Yeah,
to
I
it
saw that.
in the new episode. So no spoilers.
Really?
I mean, yeah. So
Because
check it out.
what I'm planning to do, because I hadn't even watched The Mandalorian, any of it.
What? Oh
I know.
my god,
Oh,
dude!
no,
My
we gotta
plan
do a watch
is,
party.
right? No, just wait. This is the grand master plan from Terrydactyl coming to you live or on a
Live?
podcast if you're listening to it later. I haven't watched any because when so with The Mandalorian, there's like a bunch of other characters, not new characters, but older Star Wars characters that were not introduced in the films, but introduced in other series that get put in, and these are big loved characters like. I don't know if I say her name right, but Osaka Tano,
Ahsoka.
right?
Jesus
Ahsoka,
Christ.
right?
Ahsoka.
And I don't know anything about her, but I know she's a loved character. So I'm going to go back and watch
Spoiler alert.
the
by the way.
Clone Wars
Oh yes.
series, and I think is it Resistance? It's called as well.
No,
Rebels,
no.
right?
Yeah, Rebels.
But I'm going to watch those in. I'll find some website which will tell me watch these series in this particular order. Then I'll go on to The Mandalorian. So then I'm like a bit more invested when these other people show up.
Honestly, I would say, like, to me, I've watched everything. But you could just, like, for Clone Wars, honestly makes 1, 2, and 3 seem like masterpieces for Star Wars. But it does. No, I'm telling you. It makes it seem like it's so good. You go back and watch 1, 2, 3, and they're just terrible. But it adds so much context to it. So if you're going to go back and watch it, like, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, watch from, like, spoiler alert, I think it's season 4 or 5, Darth Maul. Watch Darth Maul going forward. Then, that's all you got to watch. Watch all the Rebels, Darth Maul going forwards from Clone Wars. So it's Clone Wars, watch Rebels, and then watch Mandalorian. That's the order.
Okay.
Honestly, like, Mandalorian, I don't know if, like, I haven't watched Boba Fett. I did watch The Mandalorian. I thought it was okay.
Get
It's
the
like,
fuck out of here.
No.
Beloved.
Hear me out. No, hear me out. So the new movies absolutely suck, right? I think we can all agree on that. Like, the new movies are just not good. Mandalorian was a breath of fresh air in the sense that it doesn't suck, but it's not a masterpiece, dude. Like, no way. It's not a masterpiece. It's like a 7 out of 10 or something.
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
pretty
It's decent. It's entertaining. It's well shot. The actors are good. The scenography, camera work, special effects, like, the production value's there, and it's really good. That's about it. Like, that's it. It's a good Star Wars product, and but there's nothing special about it. I think like, there's, aside from the Mandalorian himself, who is a cool character, but there's a dozen cool characters like him everywhere. So
My favorite
just, like,
would be, like,
I wasn't
Rogue One.
wowed by it.
Rogue One is amazing. That is
Rogue One is really good.
fantastic
Surprisingly, really good.
Yeah, probably the best.
Yes,
But,
yes.
What I like about, like, Clone Wars and stuff, again, not to get too much into it, but just it adds so much backstory and it makes you care about all the characters a lot more. So when you do watch Mandalorian, it'll mean a lot more. And they, like, oh my god, there's one specific battle in Rebels that is, like, the best battle to me, like, not visually necessarily, but just, like, emotionally with the characters. I'm just like, god, how is this potentially like a kid show? This is so good. My freaking
I think
waterworks.
God bless.
I think we can
I'm
all
not gonna
agree.
cry.
I think we can all agree that the video games are where Star Wars has like shined the most. Like especially like I don't like Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast 1 and 2, Dark Forces, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Rebel Alliance, like
Knights of the
all
Republic.
of those games. Yes. Okay. I never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I am aware that it's really good.
Don't look at any story information if you play the remake.
No, I will play the remake, yes. I know some details about the story because just like things have seeped through across the years, right? But like I think the Star Wars video games are where it's always been at, and you know, obviously the original trilogy. But you watch the original trilogy today, and like it's a slow pace. Like if you don't have any nostalgia for them, and you just watch them today, like my kids have watched them, and they don't really get into them, you know, and stuff like that. Because once I think you've taken away the appeal of seeing like lightsabers and hearing the sounds for the first time and the TIE fighter design and everything, once that's into your culture and you have that going into those movies, then a lot of the magic is just not there, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 Star Wars games. One is a sequel to Fallen Order, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we've got a strategy game, which is going to be developed in collaboration between Respawn, we know Respawn are, and a developer called Bit Reactor, who are actually leading development. Respawn
does what
they made Fallen Order,
Apex Legends, and Fallen Order.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But there's this other studio called Bit Reactor who are going to be the main
XCOM and Civilization.
They've got
XCOM for
veterans. No, they've got veterans from Firaxis. That's who Bit Reactor are. So they've got strategy veterans there, which is good. But we've got no idea what game that could be. Could be a traditional RTS, which I think Empire at War was. I think like a traditional RTS. And by traditional, I mean like Command and Conquer style, or it could be more of a 4X game like Civilization, or it might be something like XCOM. We've got no idea.
I think it's going to be a more tactical game like XCOM. Like Gears of War Tactics was, I think, well received, though I didn't see much about it. XCOM obviously is a very beloved series, and now we have like I think that genre's in for a big boom in the coming years. We have I mentioned XCOM, I mentioned Gears, and now we have Metal Slug Tactics, if you know that Metal Slug arcade game, which you should, because it's really good.
Oh my god, Raz, you don't.
And we also have Triangle Strategy coming in as a spiritual successor to like Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre, coming to the Switch on March 4th. So yeah, like I think an XCOM style Star Wars thing could be super cool. Crucial says super stoked for Metal Slug Tactics. If you haven't checked out the Metal Slug Tactics video, the art style in that game is spectacular. It looks so good. I can't wait for that. And the third one is the third Star Wars game is an FPS, right?
Yeah, which is interesting, really interesting in itself. Not only just because first-person shooter Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people would love to see sort of, let's say, the journey of Kyle Katarn carried on, but that never will, because he's like what's the old like storyline now being classed as like Legends or something?
Yeah,
but it's not like canon anymore. So yeah, we're not going to get a Kyle Katarn thing. But does it also mean like what's happening to Battlefront? Could this be a sequel to Battlefront?
A lot of people really liked Battlefront.
Right?
Like as shit release as it had, and like the whole controversy around it with the the in-game purchases, it has one of the most loyal fan bases of any Star Wars game right now. It is
it's really good.
Have taken off. There is one major glitch though right now, the 0 HP glitch or 1 HP glitch, where apparently like people can do this glitch sometimes actively, sometimes it just happens, but they can never die. So they just kill everything and everyone. And like EA hasn't been able to patch it. So
great.
So yeah, it's like ruined the game.
Yeah.
But the modding community is huge in that game right now. They've modded every like Star Wars character. So I could see that coming back. I mean, it did pretty well.
The news about that is that, you know, if they are bringing back Battlefront, that means DICE isn't developing Battlefront, and that could be a possible indication that EA is really not happy with DICE. And, you know, I wonder why that could be.
So the
on
thing
our
is,
weekly shit on Battlefield 2042 moment.
if I quickly say about EA, if you go through the history of how many big studios EA has bought and then shut down, companies that are making good games, popular franchises, and then EA says, "Oh, let's do this with this studio." That studio fails, gets shut down. You need to just, you know, I'll point at Visceral. I think it's Visceral. You know, they came in. Dead Space 2,
yes.
absolutely amazing. EA were like, right, let's push it more of a co-op angle, get more action in, get more microtransactions in. People hated Dead Space 3 because of it. I barely played Dead Space 3. And then they said, oh, okay, you know, that didn't do well, so let's push you onto something that you're not really in tune with developing. Battlefield Hardline, and then we'll close you down afterwards because probably Hardline didn't perform that well because people didn't really want that. And that was EA's decision to do that. And it was EA's push for
Hardline
2042.
Yeah, Hardline released a year after Battlefield 4. I will say
Hardline had some decent gunplay. I kind of enjoyed.
I never played it.
Oh yeah, the Revolution was pretty fucking sweet. I was kind of down with it. Like there was one where you had a crane.
I think the problem was like the Battlefield audience is not up for a yearly release, you know, and never has been. Yeah. That's why Battlefield 2142 failed, because people were still playing Battlefield 2 and didn't really want to get into a different game, you know.
Yeah.
And when that came out, I remember a lot of my friends were like, "Dude, you know, like I don't know if I want to pay $60 to play a game to replace a game that I'm already playing." Like I want to keep playing Battlefield 4, right? Yeah. No, it wasn't Battlefield 4. It was Battlefield 2. Sorry.
Yeah. But it was also,
but that could be
with Battlefield. It's a war. You know, it's just a military shooter, not cops and robbers. And it probably was EA who said, "Let's try this." And well, I think everyone's heard the rumors with 2042 about EA wanted to push specialists. They wanted to initially push it as a battle royale, so they were pushing all this onto DICE, which, you know, screwed them over. And I'm not surprised if DICE gets shut down after their next game if it doesn't perform well, because that's EA, really.
You really think
that's
DICE
just what they do.
Well,
they've shut down studios that were
maybe
even
they're
more
going to sell
successful.
it to Microsoft.
Oh God, DICE is such a big studio. I don't know. I think there's
they've had not three, but at least 2 unsuccessful Battlefields, right? Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2042 is just absolutely like the players have completely abandoned the game by now. And you know, the rumors about it going free to play definitely don't help.
Crucius threw a good point. He says, "I think they're too reliant on Frostbite, DICE's engine." That's probably a good point. A lot of games, and I think there was a game. Was it Horizon that I heard in the news? They were trying to get Horizon to use Frostbite, or like a game that uses Unreal to use Frostbite.
What game is Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever.
No, that uses a different engine, an inbuilt engine.
That uses the Guerrilla.
So that's
engine, which is like developed in-house by them.
They were trying to get them to use that, or get like one other studio to get them to use Frostbite, and it just did not work. So
I think that was the case with BioWare and the game there, like
Andromeda.
I think the game they're developing now,
Yes,
the
Andromeda
Dragon
did
Age
that too.
4. I think Dragon Age
Yeah.
4 started off as a Frostbite thing, and then they were like, nah, dude, we're going to use Unreal because this shit
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Some of them are moving away from it. Yeah.
So maybe DICE gets turned into this like tech support
Maybe.
or support studio or something instead of a creative,
I don't know. I mean, it
it's
works
definitely not
great.
performing as expected, right?
It works
Why I
great.
think they could shut
but-
down DICE though is I'll fire off some names of big studios they've shut down and killed off.
Mhm.
So it's Westwood created Command and Conquer. You don't
Yeah.
shut down a company like that. This might be a bit before your time, Raz, but Bullfrog, they've created a bunch of big games in the past.
Syndicate. Oh my
Populous,
god.
Dungeon Keeper, they were huge. Origin, who created the Ultima series, is probably before your time, Raz, and like Ultima
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at some.
Yeah,
more.
it wouldn't be the first. Like, it's business,
one.
dude. If you need to fire 2,000 people and let them go because
Yeah.
they're not return on investment is not what's expected, then I'm sorry. Like, that's the way it works, and
Yeah.
it's the way it's worked at EA forever.
There's some Mythic Entertainment, Dark Age of Camelot, which was successful. Warhammer Online, which I think was fairly successful. It just wasn't successful enough. They shut them down. They shut down the studio that created Medal of Honor, right? The studio started by Steven Spielberg. They shut down DreamWorks Interactive.
That I'm not too
They
surprised.
shut down
you know. That
the creator
that, they never
of The
put
Sims.
out a good game.
I think
The
the
Sims
story
shut
we
down-
see.
Shut down. They initially shut down Maxis, the studio
Yeah.
that created The Sims, right?
Yeah, and
And,
SimCity, right? Like that was
Yeah.
the big one.
Because Sims is
And,
still alive
I think that
and
the
kicking.
story,
Yeah.
I think the story that repeats itself in every case in these studios is like the studio will do something that's incredible, like DICE creating Battlefield, basically. EA will acquire it. Actually, EA acquired DICE after Battlefield 1942, and I think they acquired it by the Battlefield 2 time.
Yeah, I think they
will
published
acquire the studio.
942, then bought them out.
Yeah, and then the studio will do like one more game, and then they will start to bleed out talent because the talent that's there that's created Battlefield in 1942 and 2 is like, oh, I'm gonna look for a new job because now I have this on my resume, so now I can get like a much higher pay grade if I go to another studio as creative director or whatever. And then all the talent bleeds out because why would you stay here? And yeah.
And they also
All the-
shut down
like that-
the studio that created the Battlefront series as well.
Damn.
Pandemic.
Yeah, Crucius says all the Medal of Honor devs left because of EA and started Infinity Ward, then got bought out by Activision, and then they left and started Respawn.
Yeah.
Got bought out by EA. Damn.
It's
Went
the-
all full circle.
It's the circle of life.
I know.
We have to have a Lion King movie of the Medal of Honor devs.
You live long enough until you get bought out by
Yeah, if
EA.
you live long enough, EA is gonna buy you.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. So funny.
Here's one news article that I want, not a news article, but a thing that I want to talk about that's kind of news related. I'm going to try and get this to show on the stream. How do I do that?
Should be able to share.
Let me, this is on show media.
But yeah, we didn't want to shit on
No, show
Battlefield too
docs.
bad today. But
I know, but still.
we definitely want to shit on it.
Keeps making headlines.
It does.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
so-
every week there's a new shit on Battlefield headline every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the hot new thing to shit on, right?
I'm so sad. Like it hurts my heart every time because I'm such a Battlefield fanboy. But God,
Dude, when Battlefield, what was it? After Battlefield 5, I remember talking with friends and saying like, dude, they need to make the next Battlefield free to play because like they've hurt so many people with Battlefield 5 and the franchise, like the fan base is so worn out on crappy games that if they don't do it free to play and don't do it right, most people aren't going to buy it off the bat. And is just not going to have a good launch. And I think that's exactly what happened. Like, regardless of the issues that it had, it still didn't sell as well on the first few days, you know?
Yeah.
Because people were just like, I'm not going to buy it this time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And those that did buy it obviously bit the bullet and are now like, not playing the game anymore. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. We've talked about, you know, the Hell Let Loose player base surpassing that of Battlefield on Steam, Battlefield 2042. I ran this poll on my channel. Wow. Yeah. I put this poll on my channel. So I'm going to read it out for everyone that's not, you know, listening to or watching the video version. It says, how have bad Battlefield games led you to Hell Let Loose or other titles? This is a poll, right? 6,000 votes. The options are, no, I only play Battlefield. No, I play those, but I also play Battlefield. So if you were playing Battlefield and you now started playing Hell Let Loose or something else, that would be the option. Yes, now I play Hell Let Loose, or yes, now I play another game like Insurgency, Tarkov, Squad, etc. Okay, 90%, or more specifically, 86%, 87% of the people that responded to this poll are saying, yes, they now play something else. Like, they either play Hell Let Loose or they play something else, but they are not playing Battlefield anymore. That is 87% out of 6,000 people that answered the poll, and I find that to be just absolutely stunning. Like, it blows my mind. Now, some people might say, like, the wording on the poll could have been better. Maybe there's a lot of Hell Let Loose players that never played Battlefield that are responding, yes, now I play Battlefield. I don't think that's the case. Maybe it is the case for some amount of people, but still, like, there's a lot of people just not playing Battlefield anymore, man. And like, I uninstalled it. I uninstalled it like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And I installed it immediately. I got it, and I was just like, no. I played more of the beta than I played of the game. And I played the game, and I was like, nope, this is exactly like the beta, and I hated both of them.
I didn't dislike the beta, but, you know, I don't want to, like, tread common ground here. I think we've gone over this, but I just wanted to mention that, because I ran that poll. I didn't expect so many people to answer it. And I did not expect, like, almost 90% of them to answer, I'm not playing Battlefield anymore after this. Right?
That almost matches up correlates with the peak player count.
It does match with the peak player count, so that's definitely, you know, like, yeah, it matches up with that, so, yeah, I believe the poll is correct.
Yeah.
I'll say something potentially controversial.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here we go.
I really enjoy Battlefield 5.
Yes.
So I stopped playing it when they were messing around when they started messing around with the time to kill. But
yes.
Yeah, when I did my theorizing about what British weapons could come into Hell Let Loose, I jumped into Battlefield because I could get easy access to all the weapons without having to mess around in PostScript and joining servers and squads. And I was using the Bren gun a lot, and I was like, this feels so good because, you know, the gunplay is actually using recoil patterns instead of Fortnite Bloom, and I was just like, this is fun, you know.
I will say, good. I wasn't a huge fan of the sliding mechanic in that game, to be honest. But
it wasn't abused.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, it wasn't abused, but it was kind of annoying. But I think the maps are also pretty good. I don't think there are any like crazy memorable maps, but like, what's the church?
That's
the
what's
church
missing.
Right.
Devastation.
Like, yeah, Devastation. That was a pretty decent map. And what I really liked about that game too was the special events. And the special events never fucking happened, but only like I probably like 1,000 hours of Battlefield 5, like a shit ton. But I only ever saw it 2 times on Devastation.
What special events?
Yeah,
so yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, you know how 2142 would have like the tornado and weather events.
Yeah.
So Battlefield 5 had that shit too, but like it never happened. So on Devastation specifically, what would happen is you would have an air raid, and it would turn. Yeah, I'm telling you, it only happened 2 times when I was playing. Never happened. But literally, what would happen is there would be bombers that would come over the city. drop bombs, and also drop
What?
huge flares. And so the whole map would be covered in these giant red flares through the air. Hundreds of planes. I'm telling you, this happened.
No,
yeah.
Ross, you dreamed this.
I'm telling you. Share it on screen when you find it. And the bombs would come down. It would kill
Devastation
you.
Levolution.
Yes. And then also the desert map. What was the desert map that you had the airstrip on the far side? That had a full sandstorm. Again, that only happened 1 or 2 times I was ever playing.
Oh, what?
See what I'm saying?
I'm looking at a clip now. What is this?
That's what I'm saying. The problem with that one, they didn't do it nearly enough. It happened 2 times in my entire 1,000 hours of playthrough.
I guess they thought that it would be a cool thing, like the rare reload animations that happen once every 10,000 animations or something.
It's crazy, man. Can you
Wow,
share it
yeah,
on
I'm
the
looking
screen
at
real
this.
quick?
I think I can.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
hold on.
it was nuts. It was one of my favorite things.
I can't believe I didn't know this.
Yeah. I'm glad I could bring
Alright,
this to everyone's attention.
Alright. Okay, so it's gonna look like super.
If you want, I can look it up. Oh, yeah. That
Okay.
looks terrible.
Wait.
Here, I can
no.
look it up, Mono.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look it
Yeah,
up.
my internet connection is gonna blow up.
Send it over to me. Actually, wait, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, hold on. I need to stop casting my screen.
Battlefield. I'm telling you, this is amazing.
All right.
What'd you look at?
So-
Devastation. Levolution.
Yeah.
Let's look that up. I can't find it. The fuck.
Never mind. Just look for it, guys. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
we'll look at it in a second.
So I think the problem with Battlefield 5 was specifically the map design, because the TTK was good. Sorry, the map design and messing around with the TTK, which was absolutely perfect. They messed around with it and they changed it to something twice, right? And they never actually reverted all the changes. So guns that were really awesome to use just don't feel that same way now if you play the game now. That's a really big disappointment for me. And the map design, like Devastation, you had Arras, you had Hamada, I think was another one. You had many maps that were either infantry and tanks or infantry and airplanes, right? Or maybe 2 tanks per map, and that was it, right? Then the tanks would suddenly stop respawning and wouldn't ever respawn again, and you would play the entire map without any tanks and stuff like that. Once they hit the Pacific update, and they actually made all-out warfare maps where you had airplanes, infantry, and tanks all together, and multiple airplanes and multiple tanks, 4 per side or something. That's when Battlefield 5 really showed its true potential. That's when it got really good. But that it's just the map design. That's why I don't have really any faith in EA and DICE left, because the map design hasn't been on point for 2 games.
Just bring me back to Karkan. That's the only one I like.
Yeah,
Karkan was
just
amazing. Strike at Karkan.
Yeah, it was. So good.
It's so sad seeing Battlefield fall from grace like this. It really is.
God. But yeah, I'm telling you, Battlefield 5. I don't think that's controversial at all, Terry. I think Battlefield 5 had the best gunplay out of any of them. I think Battlefield 3 and 4 had some of the most memorable maps. But Battlefield 2, I think, was the highlight of all of them for me. I think for most people, Battlefield 2 is probably not maybe the most highlighted, but the most played in the sense that that's how everyone started. That or Battlefield 3. A lot of people started with Battlefield 3 too.
Yeah,
I would say a lot of people start with 3.
Yeah. Or Bad
Comes
Company.
out on consoles as well, right?
Yeah, Bad Company 2. Actually, a lot of people started. That was a solid one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Battlefield 3 and 4 had the best vehicles, and I've always been like a vehicle guy in those games. I've always tanked in Battlefield games.
Oh, yeah.
The tanks in Battlefield 5 are awesome. They are really good. They are super satisfying to use, and they don't suffer from the problems they have in 2042, where the AoE from the shells is really small. So you don't really get those, like I shot a shot here and it killed like, 7 guys that were clumped together and stuff like that. You don't really get that in 2042.
I'll tell you what,
pretty much ever.
Battlefield 1 had pretty cool, interesting tanks in the sense that they added the modular damage in that one. They also had ricochets too. And like the fact that you weren't in a super crazy souped up tank was kind of interesting. It was like one shot and then you had to fucking like actually reload it, make sure it's reloaded, and then lob those shots in just these giant boxes. But infantry was pretty well balanced because they could just surround you really quick. But you can mess them up. Also, those shots on the planes. Oh, those biplanes you could shoot or whatever. That was pretty fun.
The snipers and the spotting, I think, ruined Battlefield 1 for me.
Yeah, the weird zeroing where you had a sweet spot mechanic. I didn't like that. I mean, I liked it when I was the one shooting. But did you know about that, Terry? The sweet spot mechanic?
No, I don't know about that.
So in Battlefield 1, they changed it where they added what's called a sweet spot mechanic. I think that's the term they used. But literally what it would be is with every gun, it was different. But at a certain range, like at 100 to 150 or 100 and like 120, whatever the specific range was, it would always be a one-hit kill. No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So, yeah. It wasn't like an advertised thing. It was just a mechanic they had where
every sniper rifle had a specific range at which it would one-shot you if it was like a body shot.
Exactly.
So if you knew, like, you would change your sniper depending on the map. Like, I'm going to be super far away because this is an open map, so I'm going to change this to this rifle where, whatever, if I'm plus 150 meters, it's a one-shot. Versus this other rifle that's maybe more urban, where the one-shot is from, like, 75 meters to 110 or something.
So very specific. It was obscure. It literally didn't tell you. You'd have to, like, look that up. But it was a mechanic in the game where it would do that. Of course, headshots were always, but like it was more specifically body shot. I wasn't a huge fan.
No, and I think like the problem with that was that like snipers for me have always been a problem in Battlefield games, because of the way the objectives are designed and you needing to be inside of them to be able to cap them, and the snipers being these like. Most people playing them as I'm just going to lie down here in the middle of nowhere and just going to snipe at people across the map. I've always wanted the amount of snipers to be limited in Battlefield games. Like, lock the class if more than whatever amount of people are
classes.
Playing the sniper class.
Am I right? Who needs them?
Yeah. Oh, man. So out of date.
You know what really pissed me off about Battlefield? And this actually has been the case since Battlefield 3. The assignments or the objectives or whatever that you call it, they were different. But those were always just the absolute worst. It's like, get a kill with a shotgun while standing here 5 times. So like then you have every single person camping this one area or like doing something really obscure that doesn't help win the game in any way. It was so stupid.
No.
Yeah.
And they would do that to unlock different attachments, right?
Melee kills on the same game. So you would see people that are just using running around with a melee weapon all the time.
Yeah, just try to get that unlock or that gun or whatever. That was so stupid. Like, why didn't you have something like objective or team-based? I'm sure that they had a couple. It was like heal so many people, which is fine, but...
If you have like a good XP system, then just tie that to XP.
Yeah,
and have the XP reflect a good gameplay style.
Like hella loose.
If you're dominating and you're actually good at the game and a good team player, then you're gonna get your unlocks faster because you're gonna earn more XP from like kill streaks and capturing the objective and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just
it's so simple, but they need to like convolute everything, dude.
Yeah, like I think Call of Duty. I mean, as much as I hate Call of Duty more, does a way better job of making it like objective based and more like XP based or just makes sense more. Just that was so silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, turns out, I guess, DICE is not developing the next Battlefront game. If it is a Battlefront game at all, and not a like campaign-style shooter, or something. Hopefully, it's not like here. Okay, controversial thought. I was just gonna say, hopefully, it's not a hero-style shooter thing, but maybe that could work in the Star Wars universe. Like,
well, explain.
Because you have heroes.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine like this is gonna sound really dumb, but follow me on this one. Imagine like an Overwatch style Star Wars game, right? Where you have different. I'm not saying like imagine Overwatch like as Overwatch plays, but imagine you have like Boba Fett, you have Darth Vader, Anakin, Obi-Wan, some droids, stuff like that, each covering a different role. That is something that could actually work, because that's those are actual heroes for your hero shooter.
You mean like that game right now that's like the League of Legends Star Wars game that already exists?
Oh, is that the?
Well, that's a mobile.
I don't know what that is.
Right?
I know, but it's like the same thing. You have heroes. It's like I get where you're coming from.
Like that makes sense. That makes more sense to me than trying to get specialists onto Battlefield. Like it makes more sense to me to have like if they want to have a hero style shooter, Star Wars would actually lend itself to that more than a Battlefield would.
Star Wars is about characters, right? It's about these individual characters, the heroes and villains. When this is a bad comparison,
though.
But if you look at Hell Let Loose, it's about World War II in general. While you do have the big people, it's generally about the armies faced each other, and just the soldiers, the groups of soldiers, not this one particular soldier in this squad. It's mainly
you can have
the grand scale of things.
You can have both in Star Wars, I guess. You can have the large-scale things and the hero-style things. So, if that's the direction they want to take their shooters, because heroes are the next big thing, or the current big thing, like, I can see that working better in a Star Wars game than in other things. Like, that's just my thought. It's not saying, like, I wish it was a hero shooter. I don't. But I can see it working.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of Star Wars, I definitely think of the heroes, but I also think that I just want to be Empire scum and just blast a bunch of civvies or something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, like that's what I always say. I'm like, give me I want to be a stormtrooper and I just want to shoot a bunch of baddies.
Dude, I wish Battlefront 2 played more like Battlefield 4 or something. Than it does, like because it does have this random blue thing going on, and just the gunplay in general is not super awesome, and the vehicles are also like it's a different style of thing than Battlefield is, which I think is the reason why people didn't like the original reboot of the Battlefront franchise, because the original Battlefronts were pretty much a reskin of Battlefield.
Cool
sorry,
game.
I need to quickly step away from my desk. My dogs are going mental downstairs.
Wait,
carry on about me. It's fine.
Wait. Let's close it up because it's like 25. We're an hour 25. I don't think we have many more topics that we need to touch upon.
Sorry,
that's gonna be it for now. See you, Terry.
All right, guys. Well, again, thanks so much for tuning in. And what we want to do is, you're not streaming, right, Mono? Because you're on vacation.
I am streaming.
Oh, are you?
Not in a regular schedule, no.
So I was thinking...
No, I'm going to stream the podcast.
Okay. What I was thinking is, as kind of to pay it back to other streamers and stuff, we go ahead and raid my stream, and Mono, if you want to send it over to someone that's playing Hella Loose, to kind of pay it forward and bring attention to more people playing Hella Loose. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if there's anyone you want to pick, but Terry, if you got to go, you're good, man.
Yeah, I'll jump off. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right,
thanks for watching, listening.
I have 5 people watching, so it's not going to be a major raid. I only got Squid right now, so I'm gonna send people to him. And yeah, guys, I guess thank you for listening and watching. And again, any questions, suggestions, anything that you guys want to say about the podcast, send that over to monosgameclub@gmail.com. Again, MONOS gameclub@gmail.com. All right. I'll launch the raid and I'll catch you guys. See ya.